And if you're managing any back or disc injuries, or have had surgery in your spine, and you know where you're flexible and where you're not, then the neutral spine exercises are great for you. You can keep your head and neck down, and I'll always give that option for others if they want to curl and lift their head and neck. But that's what I want to say about that. The other thing is the other caution in any mat class that uses some of the traditional Pilates mat, like things that might roll over the spine or roll over the neck and spine. If you've had any disc injuries or surgeries and have not done that before, then I wouldn't try it here. It's just, you don't need to. And I really designed this class to not do that, but I will introduce rolling like a ball, which is kind of a fun one. But if you have osteoporosis or disc injury, or a history of back surgeries, then that's probably not your exercise. But I'll give you a modification. I'll give you an alternative that can be very challenging as well. So that's my spiel on that. Let's get moving. I like to start standing up. I'm going to move my camera a little bit here. And I'm going to pin my video, so then I'll be big and everyone else is small. And hopefully it works. Sometimes it hasn't. I'm going to hide this a little bit here. I'm going to step back so you'll see my whole head. And there we go. All right, so we start standing to one. We just got out of bed, so I'm gonna start. Wait, I'm gonna just keep the towel handy, keep it there. Start with a neck stretch, but let's lift and extend our spine. When we go into spinal extension, we usually lift. Oh, and you can mute your microphones. I won't mute you, so you can unmute yourself. We lift and we extend. So our spinal extension, like our chest is lifted. We probably have a curve here in our low back. And then we bring that back into neutral. So we're nice and long and tall. And we're just going to gently stretch side to side. Spinal flexion. And just hold yourself nice and loosely. I'll make sure. Hold on a second, just a second. And you're going to go the other direction. There we go. Okay. And then other way. And we're standing up out of our legs here too, so notice if there's a tendency to sit into the hips. Just lift the ribs up and over. And now let's move down the body. Just gently hold on to the side of your head. Imagine you're in a narrow hallway, so your nose right here, everything's in the back. So we're not leaning back, we're not pushing our head forward. We're just lifting and stretching. And my hand is very light here. I'm not trying to pull my body down. In fact, if anything, I'm trying to pull the skin up. Get a nice stretch back here. And up into the other side. And then we can reach through this hand here. Give ourselves a little distance between the ear and the shoulder. And let that hand go, and now drop your nose right to the middle. Feel a stretch in the back of the neck, and a very gentle stretch to the back, so you don't have to drop your head behind you. Just lift your eyes, look up and around. And back down. One more time. Little head circle. You can almost think of it as a nose circle, like you're drawing a circle right in front of you. And now reverse directions. I think there might be still a microphone on, so I'm gonna check that real quick. Grab your towel while I do this. Let me see. Ah, there it is. There we go. All right. All right, so holding on to your towel at the long ends, and put this right beneath like your bra strap line. So because the higher it gets, then the more we feel kind of like we're riding a motorcycle, and our shoulders start to lift a little bit. So shoulder blades down the back, just right across from the sternum. And your feet are in a first position. If you're a ballet inspired person, we also call this a Pilates first position. And you're going to bend your knees, make a diamond with your legs, and gently pull that towel apart as you bend. So thinking about the towel, the legs are moving. As they're opening, your shoulder blades are coming together. So the towel moves a little bit because of the movement in your back rather than the movement in your hands. So a few more like this, 4 and 3. So you should feel a little resistance in the arms, but the shoulder blades kind of start to glide together. You're going to press and hold. Lower and lift each heel. So this is our little mini footwork. When we do footwork on the reformer, we're lying down, and we like to roll through the feet, stretch the feet, strengthen the ankles. We can do all that standing up as well. So 4 more, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Just press the floor away, stand up, hold that towel. Now you can kind of feel the shoulder blades coming together a little bit, and then same side stretch. Now you've got a little more weight on the spine. Keeping that head right in between. Inhale to come up and over, and inhale the other side. And back through the middle, drift that towel right back. So now also it feels a bit like a ballet first, actually not first position. It's that second right now, second. What is it, Laura? Laura Galt. Anyway, it's almost here, like third. You're gonna lift and lower your heels, up and down. We're just going nice up on our toes. It doesn't have to be super high. We've got 8 more, 8, 7, continuing our footwork, standing footwork. And 4 more, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Come up, turn your heels parallel. Your feet are parallel, so they're straight in front of you, right under your hips. We're going to take our first roll down. So lift up, look up towards your towel, and then as it glides in front of you, nod your chin, roll down to the floor. Now you can put this on. If your hamstrings are flexible, you can go all the way down. If your hamstrings are in between, you can put your hands here on your thighs. You're bending straight in your legs, looking at your toes. So let your head and neck relax. Don't try and hold your head up during this. Just little hamstring stretches for 3, 2, 1. Push the floor away with your feet and rolling back up. 1 vertebra at a time. Lift into your extension. Now you're extended. We're going to do that one more time. Rolling down. When the towel crosses your shoulders, nod your chin. Roll down to the floor or to your thighs. And bend and straighten here. For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Push the floor away with your feet. And reach back up. You're going to hold this towel just right in front of you, so like a bicep curl. Get a little bit of different engagement in the back and the arms. We're going to go for a Pilates run. So this is also something we do on the reformer. We go up on our toes, and then we bend one knee. The heel goes down, and we go back up on our toes. So our work is to start up and down. We're going to stay here for about 30 seconds. So take your own pace. You can make this fast, or you can keep it nice and slow. The other option, if going up feels like a balance challenge that might be a little early for, you can stay flat on the ground and lift one heel and then the other. So find what works for you this morning, recognizing every day is different. Like our bodies are changing every day depending on what we did yesterday and how we're feeling and what we ate, all things. Got 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach up and over. We're going to go down, roll down one more time. Inhale, look up, exhale, nod the chin as your arms pass the shoulders. rolling down. So the other thing about our roll downs is that when our body and our head goes down, our belly button starts going up. And this kind of makes us more Pilates than other forward bends. Bend and straighten your legs right here for 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And as you come back up, again, the Pilates part of this is that the belly button is lifting and zipping up under the rib cage as you return up. We engage all of our core muscles up and down. Let's come into second position. So second position, you go as wide as you're comfortable. Your toes will be pointed out like on a clock, like between like 11 and 1. So go ahead and bend the knees and take this nice and easy. It doesn't have to start deep in the morning, and put a little gentle pull on that towel. Stretch the collarbones wide, slide the shoulder blades down your back. You have 4 more like this. We're going to hold it down. A mostly good counter. That was 1. You got 1 more. Stay down here. You're going to lift and lower each heel again. I say I'm an intuitive counter, which means 4-ish. You got 4 more here. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Push the floor away, stand up. 1 more nice side stretch. Now your legs are open, so it might feel a little different. Inhale, fill up with air to come back through the middle, and up and over. And back through the middle. So we're going to add some rotation here. So Pilates is about moving through all positions of the spine. Your flexion, your extension, we also rotate. So inhale as you rotate, exhale as you reach down for that toe. So you might come to about your knee. You might come all the way to the floor. You can let go of that towel and reach the arm behind you. You're looking at your knee. Big inhale here. And then come back through the middle. Inhale to turn to the other side. Exhale, nod the chin. Reach down. Right arm to left foot or left arm to right foot. Look at your knee here. Inhale big. Exhale. Come back up. You can use this towel as part of the rotation. Rotate over the knee. Nod the chin. Roll down to the feet. Free that back arm. Lift it up. Look at your knee here. Inhale big. Exhale. Come back up 1 more time. Inhale to rotate. Exhale, nod down. Inhale the knee here. And exhale back up. We're going to turn into, you're still using your hands right here in front of you. And you're going to turn into a parallel, what we call a 4th position. It's like you're on train tracks. So you've got 1 leg under 1 hip and 1 of the other. So if I'm facing you, looks like this, but I'm going to turn sideways. We're going to do 2 things here. The back heel is lifted. You're still gently pulling on this towel, and you're lowering the hip right over this heel. So it doesn't have to be a super deep, but it's a lot of quadricep right here. Quadricep and glute. So we're trading off. The knee bends and the knee straightens. 3 more. And again, if this is any challenging or any discomfort in a joint, just make it smaller and keep squeezing those glutes. Now you're going to stand on a gently bent leg right here. Take a little balance challenge. You can leave the toe down. You can lift this leg. Pull apart this towel. Lift and lower the leg for 6. And 5. Squeeze that glute. You can light bend in the standing leg. 2 and 1. Press and hold here. Hold it here for 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. So now we're in this forward position. Our legs are a little more forward. And now we want to lunge just a little bit deeper, but our knee is still behind our front toes. You might get a little more glute here because you're hinged. So we're hinged forward. Should be a nice safe position. Shouldn't feel too stressful. 3 more. Still pulling that towel apart. You're engaging the upper body. 2 and 1. And we're going to go to the other side. Pilates is high variety, fairly low repetition. 6 to 8 of everything, sometimes 3 or 4. Standing up nice and straight here, and you're just lowering these hips right in between the legs, so more like a 90-degree angle on the legs. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Pushing the floor away with your feet, and 1. And now you're bending, hinging forward, lifting that back leg. So you can stay here as a little tripod or lift this back leg. Little bend in the standing leg. Lift and lower here for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and back down. A little bit deeper bend. So you're still sort of in a little lunge. So you've got like an angle going from my head to my toe. And I bend and straighten here for 6 and 5 and 4. Might be a little more booty here. 3 and 2. Just keep looking over your towel. Last one. Your legs are nice and warmed up. All right. Final roll down here. We're going to go down to the mat. Inhale, stand nice and tall. Exhale, roll down. 1 vertebra at a time. Bend and straighten your knees right here. Again, you can still leave your hands or your elbows on your thighs if this feels good. 3 more. 3. Look between your ankles. 2 and 1. Push the floor away. All right, I'm going to have you come down to your mat. I'm going to adjust my camera real quick so you can see my mat, which is right there. Get a little closer to you. It's been the home studio since quarantine. Started teaching this class at the end of March 2020. Let's come into a 4-legged position, hands and knees, 4-legged, 4-limbed position, hands and knees. Lois knows I say wrong stuff like all the time. We figure it out eventually. Do what I'm doing, not necessarily what I'm saying. All right, so you're coming into hands and knees. Your wrists are right under your shoulders. We won't stay here for too long. This isn't a lengthy series. But I want you to feel like pushing your feet, push the top of your feet into the mat. Push the floor away here. Look just past your fingertips. So make sure you're not looking at your wrist or looking between your knees. You shouldn't be seeing your knees here. Inhale fully. And then as you exhale, start to lift the left hand. Reach up. Notice how the weight shifts onto the right side. Push the floor away with that right side. And then float it back down. And then switch. Push the floor away. Float the other arm. And push it away. 1 more each side. Push the floor away, lift the arm, and bring it back down. Push the floor away. Now tuck the toes so your heels are straight up in the air and your feet are tucked. Now if that doesn't feel great, you can keep your feet down, and you can just activate this exercise without using your toes. If this is available to you, tuck your toes here. Look over your fingertips. With an exhale, zip the pelvic floor. Zip everything from the pubic bone to the belly button as you push the floor away and hover the knees just 1 inch off the mat. Press the floor away for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. 1 more time. Inhale fully. Stick the tailbone out just a tiny bit. Zip the low belly and push the floor away for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should be creating a little bit of heat. One more set of exercises here. You can put your toes back down, straighten the right leg all the way behind you, and then straighten the left arm in front of you. So you've made like a bridge here. Push the floor away with your left knee and your right hand, and then lift each limb. Press and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and return back down to all 4. Let's do the other side. Straighten the left leg. Put the right fingers out right in front. We'll reach in both directions. Zip the low belly, squeeze the glutes, and push the floor away. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back. Take a little child's pose here. Sit back on your heels, and then put one hand on top of the other, and take a little side stretch. And then go to the other side. And you're going to come to seated. And we call this, at least that's what I call this, like a bent knee or a hook lying position. And you become the hook lying when you lie down. So if you'd like a pillow, if you're more comfortable, if lying flat is uncomfortable, please, pillow up your head. I think it's really important to bring the floor to us in Pilates so we can find the work in our core. If you do not need that, you can roll down one vertebra at a time. Keep those legs bent. Legs nice and bent here. So here's again, broaden your collarbones. Shoulder blades down the back, press the fingertips into the mat, press the backs of your armpits into the mat. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, bring one leg into tabletop. Be sure you're using that exhale. Inhale fully, exhale, bring the other leg into tabletop. Knit the ribs together and glue the knees together. If I just asked you to stay here for the rest of class, you probably would get a core workout. You'd be maybe bored, but you probably would be tired. So we're going to alternate our toe taps here. Inhale, one leg down. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, the other toe taps. Exhale, bring it back up. This is much as the back of the body as it is the hip flexors. So we're balancing the work front to back. To do that, we have to engage our core. Inhale and zip the pelvic floor as we breathe. Inhale, float down. Exhale, float back up. Inhale, float down. Exhale, float back up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Take a rest right there. We're going to go side to side now. You're at 90 degrees. You're still in this tabletop. You're going to inhale, drift your knees to one side. Now think about moving the bones on your backside back down to the mat rather than thinking about moving your knees. You're moving from your core. So you inhale to tilt. You're tilting your hips one way, and exhale, you're putting it back on the mat. What low muscles do you need to move the pelvis back onto the mat? Inhale to drift. Keep those collarbones nice and wide. Exhale, bring it back. One more. High variety, low rep. Exhale back. You're going to straighten one leg right here. I straighten my left leg. Inhale to drift. Notice it adds a little bit more work. Exhale, zip, and bring it back. Switch knees. Keep those knees glued together. Inhale to drift. And exhale, bring it back. And there you're done. All right. So here we're coming into two options. Neutral spine here is to keep your head and neck down, press your hands into your knees, and press your knees into your hands. And again, if you did nothing else for 30 minutes, you'd be bored, but you'd be tired. You're pressing your knees. This is your bound position. Widen the collarbones and keep breathing. So I want you to push, hold for 5. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. And then let it go. One more set like that. Inhale. Exhale. Push the knees away. Push the knees into your hands. Activating all those abdominals. You can hold that position for a couple more breaths. Couple more breath rounds. The other option for this group is legs to the ceiling. And now zip the belly. You're going to float your toes over your head. Again, if you have back, neck, disc issues, don't roll over your back and neck here. Inhale, separate your legs. And exhale, roll back down, reaching through your spine. And then you get the same little press and pull right here. Press, push and pull. Let's do one more roll over. Legs straighten. Zip the belly. Float the toes. Reaching up and over. And separate the legs. Rolling it back down. And bend the knees. Bring those legs back down to the floor for hundreds. So hundreds is a very traditional Pilates exercise designed to challenge the core by moving the arms. Think about our arms are extensions of our back. So yes, our micro movement of our arms challenges our core muscles. This is your starting position here. Flat on the back, feet flat, pulse the arms. And I'll give you the variations as we go. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Variation number 1, look up towards your belly button. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You're lifting your shoulder blades off the mat. And you're zipping that belly button up and under your rib cage. Variation number 2, lift the knees. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You could also put your head and neck down right here. That's what feels best in your body. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting my arms with my breath. Final variation, straighten the legs. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. You can slightly turn them out, squeeze the heels together, lift the shoulders higher by zipping the belly. 20 more. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 3, 4, 5. My armpits are hollowed out. My fingertips are reaching. And I'm going to reach and hold, reach, hold. And bend the knees and come back in. Give yourself a little hug. Give yourself a big hug. Bring your knees to your armpits. Back stretch right here. We're going to come into leg circles, another very traditional Pilates exercise designed to challenge the stability of the hips and the core while the legs are moving. Variation number 1, leg is bent. If this feels best for you, stay right here. If you enjoy straightening your legs, you get more of like a split feeling here. You can straighten that bottom leg. The foot is relaxed. If you like to point it, that's fine. But the foot is relaxed mainly, so we can put the work right here. So keep the tailbone heavy here on the mat. Inhale to cross that leg over the middle of the body. Exhale, circle it around and back up. Inhale, drift it. Exhale, circle around and stop. So this is where Pilates control comes in. One of the principles of Pilates is control. So this leg has a lot of control as it circles. Reverse the direction here. Inhale across, exhale down, around, and up. Inhale, exhale. We're zipping the pelvic floor so that the spine moves minimally as this leg moves around. And exhale around. Bend that knee. You're going to go to the other side. Bring that knee in, straighten that leg, stretch the other leg. We start, zip the belly, zip the pelvic floor, wrap the waist. Inhale across the body, exhale down, around, and up. Press the heel of that bottom leg into the floor. Notice the stability of that whole leg, keeping you straight. Inhale across, exhale down. One more this way. Inhale across. Exhale down. All right, reversing the directions. Inhale, open. Exhale, down and around. Inhale, open. Exhale, down and around. Feeling a little wobbly myself this morning. Exhale, down and around. One more. Inhale. Exhale, down and around. Bend that knee. There are your leg circles. We're going to come right into one exercise with 2 options. It's rolling like a ball. So the first thing is to roll yourself up to seated. So again, if there's disc or osteoporosis or anything stabilizing your spine, that you know this isn't your exercise, then you can hold this. You're gonna hold, you can see my feet. My feet are here. I'm trying to keep this distance between my heels and my glutes. You can use your towel and you're gonna hold your legs right here. You can also put your towel at the bottom. So you're zipping the low belly and holding this position. And again, if I asked you to do this, you'd be bored, but you'd be tired. So you don't have to stay here for long. Everyone, if you would like to try, if anyone wants to try the rolling like a ball part, you're going to inhale to take yourself back, exhale to roll back up. The work is to keep that distance between your heels and your glutes. And I'm not looking at you right now so that you can see you got to keep looking down at your pelvis, at your right between your legs, right below your belly button as you roll like a ball. Roll back and roll back up. So inhale takes you back, exhale brings you up. This should be a low core, low abdominal exercise. Notice that my legs don't flip up. I'm not flipping them up like this. The legs stay right underneath the hip bones. 2 more. Inhale back, exhale up. Last one. And that's enough of that. Rolling down into our abs series. So hands behind the knees and bring those just off the floor and then roll down to the tips of your shoulder blades. You're going to guide your legs with your hands right here. You'll stretch one leg for an inhale, stretch another leg for an inhale, and then exhale, and then exhale. We're going to do 8 and 7. Looking down in the direction of your flexion, look at your between your legs. Look at your pubic bone. You could also put your head and neck down here. 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Bend both knees and relax. That's exercise 1 in our ab series. It's called single leg stretch. This is double leg stretch. So your hands are on your knees and you're going to look up or near your knees in the direction of that flexion. Your back is flat on the mat here. Inhale, the arms and legs go out in both directions, elbows at your ears, and exhale, bring them back in. So what we want to take out any rocking that our body wants to do here. So we inhale with control and exhale with control. 4 more. 4 and 3. Remember, we're high variety, low repetition. 2. We're not doing 25 of everything. And 1. And relax. Bring your toes to the air. You might put your hands under your hips for this part, this exercise. Open your shoulders. Keep those collarbones nice and wide. Zip the belly and just little pokes on the ceiling for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. That was it. Press your hands into the mat. You're going to lower your legs towards the floor and then use your core to bring them back up. Inhale to about 45 degrees. Exhale, bring them back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, your head and neck are down right here. And back up. 1 more like that. If you'd like to lift your head and neck, look up in this direction. Hold your head and neck. Let's do 4 more like this for 4 and 3 and 2. Hold it lightly. Last one. Bend your knees. Give yourself a hug. Big hug. Coming into scissors. Straighten the legs. Reach up. You can keep your head and neck down. The other option is to curl up and reach for your ankle. So both are awesome. Both are work. And they're different. If you do one all the time, you should do the other one sometimes. Inhale, fully exhale, curl up, pull this leg once, pull it closer, and then switch. This is a low belly exercise as you bring that leg to you. In fact, as your core strengthens, you should be able to pulse that leg without using your hands. So bringing it to you. Your hands are really guiding you. The work is happening between the ribs and the pelvis. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bend the knees. Hug. All right, we just have one more exercise in our ab series. Everything's a core exercise in Pilates, but this is called the ab series because we go through 5 different positions of the spine. Hands behind your head. Your legs are in tabletop here, and they're nice and active. Like you can feel like if you were reaching your heels through your glutes, you've got energy on the back side of your body. And as you exhale, you're going to reach and twist. It looks like a bicycle, but I really want you to think about more of that armpit reaching for the knee rather than the knee coming up to the body. And then come through the middle. Reach that armpit for the knee. And then back through the middle. And reach. And through the middle. And reach. And middle. For 4. And 3. See how slowing it down in the middle takes out the momentum of this? And 1. So now you get some momentum for 8. And 7. And 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bend those knees. Did it. Good job. And put those knees, keep the knees bent, put the feet back on the floor. It's a good place for your towel again. So take your towel. We're going to do a little bit of bridging. And there's 2 ways to bridge. There's bridging when you curl the spine, and there's bridging with a neutral spine. So I want to teach you neutral spine today. I want you to roll up this towel, put it between your knees, just right under the knee joint. And then your heels will be right underneath your hip bones. Press your hands into the mat. Now, imagine you've got like a little space where ladybugs can go underneath your low back. So you're not flat and pressed onto the mat. You want to keep this position, this distance between the hips and the ribs as you press into your feet. So we're pressing everything up in this nice neutral spine. Press on that towel by squeezing, engaging the low abdominals. Hands back down. Now imagine you can put your tailbone down right in between your ankles. You're going to tap it back down and press it up. Keep that squeeze on the towel. Tap the tailbone down. Feel the glutes activate and press it back up. You're going to do 4 more like this. Press it down. Pop it back up. And 3. Should be a lot of glute hamstring. And 2. And 1. Hold it up right here. Little pulses on that towel for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come halfway down. Imagine you could put a fist just underneath your tailbone. Press on that, pulse on that towel again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap it down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Press the hips up. Pulse on that towel for 5, 4, 3. This is coming from my low abdominals, not from my knees. Press it halfway. Pulse again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And all the way down. 1 more time. Press that spine up. Nice, long, and neutral. Pulse on the towel for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come halfway down. Pulsing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down. Let's stretch those legs and we'll move on. Some other work. You can use your towel here if you'd like to bend and straighten this leg. And if the towel's not, you don't have a towel with you, you can put your hands behind your thigh. Magic circle is also good, a TheraBand, a strap, a belt. We're really not picky about what these things have to be. Our props are information. So you just follow along here. Bend and straighten this leg. And now hold it up. Wherever that leg is in space is perfect. I'm going to open it out to the side. Hold on to your towel. Always stretches are a part of mat. It's not in the traditional order of Pilates, but I think it's something that we all benefit from. You're going to inhale, move this across your body, And now you're going for the outer hamstring, IT band, hip stretch. It could be one or all of those things at the same time. So just gently move that leg across the body. We're not going for a painful stretch here. Notice if you drop your hip, notice where the stretch shows up for you. Like, notice if you pull your leg a little closer, where does that stretch show up? So play with it in your own body and find where the tightness is. That's one of the things we can do is help you discover and understand the balances in your own body. Inhale back up. Remove that towel. And if you're feeling fancy, you can do a big giant leg circle all the way down. All right, other side. Because why not feel fancy in the morning before you get to work? Bend and straighten. The leg that's on the floor is pretty active here. In fact, I'm getting a nice hip flexor stretch by thinking about the weight in the back of my leg that's on the floor. That nice stretch here. I'm going to open this leg out to the side for the inner thigh stretch. Time flies, we're having fun, y'all. We got more to do. Inhale across the body. Switch hands and then find that outer thigh, hip, outer hamstring, IT band, hip stretch. It might be one, it might be all three. Everybody's built a little differently. We all have different tightnesses and flexibilities. We might be really mobile somewhere and really tight somewhere else. If your hips are super open, your inner thighs might be tight, for example. Use your breath to bring that leg back to center. Take a final stretch here. And float it all the way down. So another one of I want to do this just because this is the type of exercise that everyone feels like makes it worth it. They can feel the work. So we're going to do a short bent leg side series. So come up on an elbow, sit up nice and tall, and really make sure there's space here. Make sure your ribs aren't reaching for your mat. And you're sitting on a chair here. We're going to do 4 different exercises, and we're going to repeat them twice, and I'll count you through them. But the 4 exercises will be, I call this a book, actually, more a hydrant. Open and close the leg. Then you'll open and close a clam. You'll open and close a clam. And then you'll open and close the heel to the calf. I'll talk you through it, so just follow along, and we're going to do 4 and do them one after another, so that way we don't sit here and do 8 to 12 or 12 to 15. All right, sitting up nice and tall, zip the belly, open and close that leg. For 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Lift those heels, open and close those knees for 4. Now we're going to zip the belly as this leg opens and closes, because this is where our legs are attached to our core. And 1. Lower that in space. Open this leg again. Now you're moving this a little motion. You're just moving this in the hip and the leg. 3. You're taking the heel, putting it to your calf, and back down to the heel. And 1. Now you're coming back to parallel. You're going to straighten this leg. This should feel good at this point. Straighten the leg for 4. And 3. Squeeze this glute. And 2. Yes, very nice. And 1. You're going to repeat all of that. Open and close for 4. And 3. Really engage this core here. This is what's holding onto the leg, so you can isolate the glute and move that leg. Open up here for 4. And 3. Keep breathing. And 2. And 1. Lots of booty work here. Open one more time, little C's for 4. And 3. So small movement, the shape of the leg doesn't change, you're just moving it in the hip. And 1. Bring it back to parallel, straighten the leg. Yeah, I get to stretch that for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Last exercise to finish on this side. I want you to kick front and pull it back. And kick front and pull it back. So really squeeze that glute. Stretch the hamstring, squeeze the glute. Stretch the hamstring, squeeze the glute. Last one. Actually, I lied 2 more. That was it. And we're going for 6. And kick front and squeeze to the back. Bring that leg back down. Come to your back. You're going to bring your hands right here and then slowly open up to a twist. So this might be your whole twist, and that's totally fine. You can open up that arm all the way. You can also bring it into a nice circle here. So bring a circle, open it up, and circle it around. Last one, open it up, and circle it around. Now you're going to open it up all the way, roll to your back, cross the ankle over the knee so your arms can be out as you come into a figure 4 stretch. So you've made the number 4 with your legs, right? And you can also use your hands here, pull it a little closer to you. We're going to go to the other side, stretch that, and we're almost done. So my 7 a.m. class, the 7 a.m. class I teach on Tuesday mornings, it goes pretty honestly 53, 55 minutes. We do everything we did here today, plus usually some extension work, some things on our face down on the mat, and probably even an extra set of ab series type of work. Anyway, lots of fun. And we're going to do the same thing now on this side. So you start open and close this leg. So set up like you're sitting on a chair. Zip the belly, lift the leg. 2 more. 2. And 1. Now you're going to lift those heels up in space. Open and close your clam for 4. And 3. Relax those hands. Notice if you're gripping. Just relax the arms. And 1. Lower those heels, open the knees, little C's here for 4. The shape of the leg doesn't change, just moving it in the hip. 2. And 1. Keep it nice and parallel, straighten the legs, squeeze that glute for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. We're going to repeat all of that for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lift the heels for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Lower the legs. Open the knees. Little C's. If you can see my little imaginary C here, like a little rainbow for heel to heel. Last one. If I talk, you won't notice all the burn in the leg. Straighten, bend and straighten this leg for 3. And 2. You're going to leave it out here on 1. Now kick forward, kick forward, and bend it back. And kick forward, and straighten back. Sorry, kick forward. I should say it's a hinge. It's a hip hinge. Kick forward, and hip hinge. Squeeze that glute. It's a glute exercise and a hamstring exercise. 2 more. Squeeze it back. Last one. It's a little of arabesque. Now bring those knees together. Come back to your side. Bring the palms together right here. And then open up into this twist. That feels good for you. You can circle that arm around. Whoa. Back to your hands. And open here. Circle that arm. The armpit stretches. And back down. 1 more. Circle that arm. Around to here. Now circle, leave it open. Put the back of the pelvis on the mat. Cross that working leg, the left leg for me, over the knee, ankle over knee, come into your figure 4. You can use your hands behind your thigh bone, press the bone into the hands into the thigh, and stretch that hip. Some of the other stretches I like to do, sometimes we work on standing splits, not like leg in the air splits, but like standing to increase hamstring stretch into a split, not like a big dance split. And anyway, we have lots of variety. So say the classes are similar, but no two classes are exactly alike. This is roughly the format that I follow. Okay, rock yourself up. Let's take a little spine twist before we say goodbye. You're going to twist to the direction of the leg that's in front. And I want you to use your core for this movement, not your arms. So inhale to twist. See how far you can get looking without moving your arms. And then find that support with an arm. And look as far over your shoulder as you can. Use your eyes. Twist from the top of the spine. And breathe. And then reach forward. You'll get one more stretch in that leg that's in front. And now you can switch knees. Sit up nice and tall, fingertips just graze the top of the mat, and twist and look over your shoulder. Thank you all for wanting to do this today and for showing up and being here. It's nice to see you. Nice to have friends to work out with. Looking as far as you can over that shoulder. Rotate back to the front and then take this one more fold forward. Push the floor away, zip the belly, sit up nice and tall. And you're done. So thank you. Good job, everybody. Hope that went well. I'll stay on for a few minutes if you have questions about anything or if anything's going on in your body. I'll stay here. So thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming. Hi. I can see Christy now. Hi, Jean. Oh, I can unmute you. Can I unmute? I think you have to unmute yourselves. There. Well done. There's Jean. Hey, Jean. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Hi, Laura. Okay, well, that was fun. I get coffee. Thank you.